These are the kind of thirsty men that make me sick. Hooking up with women in the Philippines. I'm gonna go travel to the Philippines here early next year and curious to know how the hookup culture is in Manila, which is the capital city. I match easily with the hottest girls I swipe across, but not sure if their culture is a big issue when it comes to no strings fun. Anyone here have any experience with this or any advice? I'll be there only a couple weeks, so I want to make the most of it. So why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about dating in the Philippines, hookup culture in the Philippines? Because there's this new phenomenon now where a lot of guys in the West are sick and tired of the girls who have these unrealistic expectations, very, very material. And, you know, they fundamentally, they can't find good wives, right? They can't find good wives. So there's the theme of becoming a passport bro, getting your passport and going out to countries like the Philippines, Asian countries, East in general, whereby you can find individuals who have more traditional values. So I have got a post up here that talks about the benefits of dating a traditional Philippines woman. So FYI for those heading to the Philippines, 4 out of 5 Filipino women do not make more than 250,000 pesos. And that is the equivalent of 3,539 GBP, which I imagine is around $3,000. So they don't make a lot of money. The government considers any household making more than 2.7 million pesos rich, and that is the equivalent of 38,000 GBP pounds, which would be around 35,000 USD. So if you make more than 35,000 USD, you're considered rich in the Philippines. Filipino women, average height is 4 feet 11 inches or around 149.86 centimeters, while the men are 5 feet 3, so around 160 centimeters. Already with those two aforementioned statistics, you put yourself in the top 1%. You're a very, very rich man and you have very desirous traits in relation to being, taller than the average man in the Philippines. Almost all Filipinos understand American English and practice will match your fluency. So they could all speak English. Their education systems are in English. Most Filipino women are traditional and are looking for a traditional man to have kids with. Filipino society are favorable to mixed couples. Most Filipino women are Roman Catholic or at least Christian. Most of them use Android phones. Most expensive minimum wage is $1.40 an hour. Nearly 1 out of 2 Filipinos are in college graduates or higher. Over 2 in 5 Filipinos are high school graduates. The Filipino dream is to migrate to a rich country in the West, UK, US, European countries. There is no divorce in the Philippines, but when a divorce is validly obtained abroad by alien spouse from his or her Filipino spouse, the Filipino spouse shall have the capacity to remarry under Philippine law. I checked the divorce percentages in the Philippines, 4%. 4% divorce rate, comparatively to Western where it's north of 50. Most Filipino men and women are pressured by their family and relatives to give financial aid to them, cap it at most at 250,000 pesos annually per person, which is around $3,000 anymore, and you're being scammed. So there's a lot to pick out here. First, the positives are that we're talking about a country here that greatly values traditional values. All the women are religious, or a lot of women are religious, and their main goal in life is to find a traditional man and give him children. So you can see why if you're a man in America, you're over 30 years old, you have a remote job, you're earning more than $35,000 a year from that remote job. You're sick and tired of Western women, their entitlement, their unrealistic expectations. You're scared about, even if you do find the right woman, the divorce rates are around 50%. And even if you're not the tallest guy in the world, these guys are seriously not just considering, they're doing it. They're moving over to the Philippines. They're finding wives who are very traditional, whose role is congruent with fundamentally what they want in a partner, and giving them children as well. But then you have the same attitude that has poisoned the West by these dumb individuals coming over to a country where traditional values, where family is the bedrock of everything great in that culture, and they're bringing over their Western tradition of sleeping with as many of the attractive locals as possible. Guys, when are we as men going to seriously understand the role that we have played in perverting the women in the West? Because it's the attitude like this. Men who will lower their standards, who use other women as a means to gratify themselves and not offer them any exclusivity, deluding them into becoming entitled. And then this is how the cycle starts over and over and over again. These women are good. They're good people. They just want a husband. They want to provide them children. That's their culture. And bringing the failed Western culture, a failing culture, over to a place where traditional values are concrete is awful. I think this is absolutely horrendous and reprehensible behavior. Now, what are the negatives of this? Because again, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows over here. Is there are a subset of Filipino women who are aware that wealthy American or Western men are coming over and will seek to take advantage of them. I'm sure there are men as well, men in gangs, and I've heard stories where they're using dating apps to lure these prospects in, and well, I'm sure you don't need me to elaborate on what happens to them. But generally, from the videos that I've watched, the blogs that I've listened, read, and the research I've done around the country, most of these women, again, are just good, traditional, spiritual women who want a man to take on that traditional role. That's something you need to consider as well. If you can't support yourself, if you're not earning that kind of money, she wants you to take 100% of the load. Like, she's not going to be involved financially at all. She wants to be the stay-at-home wife. And if you're not in a position to provide this, then and support your children as well, then this option isn't for you. But like I mentioned before, if that pertains to you, you're over 30, you've got a good income, you can work remotely, you're sick and tired of the women at home, this is a very, very and increasingly viable option. If you just want a mid-attractive woman, I like that term, mid-attractive. Mid-attractive to attractive woman who is feminine, who is family orientated, who wants to provide you children, who wants to be the feminine role in the household. And also, if you're concerned and worried about divorce rates, this is a slam dunk. I suppose you'd also have to factor into the equation, if you don't have a lot of social ties at home, this is a very, very attractive and appealing reality that a lot of men are living. I'm very curious about your guys' thoughts and initial reflexes when you see something like this and know this is becoming an increasing reality. By the way, the Western women, after hearing about this, they're not happy. They're not happy at all, which is the irony. But I think I need to impress upon you again. If this is something that you've heard about before, something that you're thinking about doing, don't go in it with the wrong intentions. Like this aforementioned individual, it's a horrendous thing to do, and it's bringing our sexual degeneracy from Western culture over to a culture where the traditional values are so good. So this is absolutely appalling, and I hope they don't let this individual in. Anyway, these are not theories today, gentlemen. These are facts. Speak very soon. Take care.